Hello everyone, Mike Rempel from Another Set of Eyes with today's Excel Bytes blog post. Today we're going to take a look at one of the what-if analysis options in Excel, and that's data tables. Now data tables comes in two flavors, single criteria or two criteria or two variables that you have to create your table. And we'll take a look at an example of each of them. The first scenario that I've created in the top section here is based on running. If I'm going to run 20 miles a week at 8 minutes per mile, what's the total annual time that I'm going to run in terms of days, hours, and minutes? So the first thing you need to do is create a little data range here with your formula built in. So in this case, I have 20 miles a week, 8 minutes per mile. So in cell E5, I've created a formula, E1 times E3 times 52. And I'm only going to have one variable in the first scenario, and that variable is going to be miles per week. So I set up a little chart here, or a table, that has the variables I want to create, or the options from 5 miles per week to 40 miles per week in 5-mile increments. So what I'm going to do is copy in the row that I'm going to want to populate the results, the formula that I have in cell E5. So I'm just going to click equals and click on E5 and hit enter, so it puts that into this table. And then I highlight the whole range, including the different variables, where I'm going to populate the results and that formula. And then I go to the Data tab on the ribbon, to the Data Tools group, and click on the down arrow of What If Analysis and select Data Table. And a dialog box pops up asking for two inputs, row input cells, column input cell. And in this case, since I only have one variable, I'll only be filling in one of these. If in the next example, we'll be filling in both. So in this case, I'm going to fill in the row input cell. I'll click on that button there, click the miles per week, and I'm going to click then OK. And what Excel will do is it will calculate, using all the variables that I've identified and highlighted, what the results will be for each one. So for 5 miles a week, at the end of the year, I will have run 1 day, 10 hours and 40 minutes, all the way up to 40 miles per week will put me in at 11 days, 13 hours, and 20 minutes. So that is the scenario with a single variable. You can also run this vertically, and then instead of clicking on the row cell, you would click on the column cell, but the structure is virtually the same, just inverted from horizontal to vertical. Now in the two variable scenario, I set up the same situation, and I've created a little table to identify that, 20 miles per week, 8 minutes per mile, and I have the same formula, E10 times E12 times 52 weeks in the year. And I'm going to do the same thing. In the upper left-hand corner of the range that I want to populate the data with, I put equals, and I click on cell E14 where it has the formula. Now I will highlight that whole range, go again to the What If Analysis, select Data Table, and again the dialog box pops up. In my row input cells, I'll put my miles per week. In my column input cells, I'll click on my times. I click OK, and now Excel populates the entire table with the data, telling me that I'll go from 1 day, 6 hours and 20 minutes, all the way up to 14 days, 10 hours and 40 minutes, depending on the combination of the two variables. The data table option, it only will handle one or two variables. You can't do more than that. If you need to do more, you need to consider alternative options. But this is a great way to build a table based on one or two variables. This can be used with doing profit and loss based on certain sales numbers and maybe overhead percentages, etc. It could be used on stock analysis based on quantities and returns. There's a whole variety of things this can be used for, but the What If Analysis, data tables, that's on the Data tab, Data Tools, What If Analysis, is a great tool to create this. And that's it for data tables. Hope you liked it. Hope it's useful to you. Thanks for stopping by. And if you'd like to see more, please feel free to go to my website, excel-bytes.com, and I hope you subscribe. Happy excelling.